how you know your self-worth. List those things off and be like, oh, I'm a _𝐻. If none of those people are volunteering or participating in refilling that Brita, you need to stop giving them access to water. Do not spend your time on anything that does not replenish your cup. But I sat there like the speck of dust and I cheered. I said, woo! I have a sip of that. That means I'm about to be screaming at y'all. If I hold up this mic, know that this is just a prop because it's not plugged in. Because I completely forgot how to set up my mic to the camera. So I'm just holding it for the vibes, for the sake. I'm gonna need you to sit down because later on you're gonna need to stand up. Okay, collectively, we will be standing up. So you first need to be sat. You first need to be sat so that you can sit. Wait, what? You first need to be sat so that you can stand. Okay, so I'm gonna wait for you to get seated. You should be sat. Let's discuss what I feel like girl. I was gonna say these past 2 weeks, but really, girl, like these past 4 months have been a crazy, eye-opening roller coaster of just knowledge and learning and understanding and going through stuff and then like being like, oh, T, like that's very, very T, like, oh, I understand you now. It truly all started happening after my birthday. I truly think, like, listen, I'm a believer in angel numbers. You may not be. That's just my belief system. Okay, I'll rock with my angel numbers. I got my 444. That's my thing. Something about being 22 just to me feels like a year of, what is it called? Metamorphosis. Oh, metamorphosis. When the caterpillar turns into the butterfly, 22 feels like that year. Like something about the, you know, the double numbers. Like I feel like 22, 33, 44, like something about the double numbers just feels so transformative because literally I woke up 22 and was like, wait. Like it was literally like a complete switch. Like my eyes started seeing differently. I was like, wait, everything's a freaking learning lesson. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so let's take it back because what would I say? I feel like I would say this past week. I would really say these past 5 days. I would really only say these past 3 days. I had to have a remembrance of who I am and my worth. Period. I had to remember. But then part of me is also thinking, did I ever know? I don't know. Like I feel like I've had spurts where I've known and then spurts where I didn't know. I'm sorry if I'm messing with my hair. It's because I get very self-conscious when it's not laid correctly. So just give me 2 minutes. Give me 2 minutes to just fix it. To fix the bang. It's always the curtain bang. The curtain bang just doesn't want to curtain like it should. Like you guys know how a curtain bang should curtain. And it's not curtaining. But that's the last time I'm allowed to touch my hair. I'm not going to touch it anymore. If I look crazy, I look crazy. Y'all just going to have to not judge me because this is about self-love. This is about self-love and self-worth. So, anyways, I was saying the past 3 days, I really remembered like, girl, you are so silly. Who are you? Like, who are you? So, do we rewind? I have no plans on like how I want to discuss this, but like I really just opened up the camera and I was just like, no, like this needs to be discussed. But I really just had a moment. It obviously came after, not necessarily a traumatic experience, but obviously like an experience that wasn't too enjoyable that it came. Let me take you back to the beginning. I got myself into a situation that the universe knew I had no business being in. The universe knew I had no business being in it, but that's why me and the universe are like this, because she lets me go through things like and experience things so that I never do them again. This summer, I was really in my like, and this like is gonna start off like kind of about like relationships, situationships, but you could really take a lot of this to whatever scenario you need to take it as. This summer, I really started off and I was like, okay, like I'm in my casual girl era. I'm in my casual girl era, like city girls on top, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not committing to anything. I'm just, like, trying to dance around. Well, not dance around. Wasn't doing anything. I realistically had no roster. Oh, my God. It's actually comical. I was trying to build a roster. I think I've been trying to build a roster for 2 years. And it just has not worked. And if that is not a sign from the universe that I just was not built to create rosters. There are some people that have a talent and have an art of roster building, and they could do that, and they could work with their roster, and they could every time I think of rosters, I think of Clark, and I think of how, if you guys know Clark Peoples on TikTok, I think of how beautifully and eloquently she executes her roster. Like, beautifully. And I wanted to be like Clark. I wanted to beautifully and execute, like, still be ladylike. I still wanted to be a lady. You know what I'm saying? Like, she just does it, and she still just exudes demure. You know, I know we're done with that word, but like, that's classiness. She's got such a classy roster. I really wanted to be like Clark. But first of all, I was struggling to build a roster because I was like, I don't even know how you build this. How do you build this? Like, I tried to do the apps. Apps scare me. Like, no. Like, I don't go outside, so I don't meet people in person. When I meet people in person, it's a bunch of YNs. So I'm like, okay, this isn't working out how it works out for Clark. I'm not getting the classy roster that Clark is getting. Okay, I just wanted a bunch of golf bays and polo bays and this bay and this bay and this bay. No, we got nothing. Until we did get something. We got one thing. We got the antithesis of a roster. We got a situation. We got a situationship. But I truly believe that this man probably wouldn't even classify this, what transpired between us for like 2 months as a situationship. I don't even think he would describe me as a friend. Amigo? No. I barely know that girl. Like, pass me on the street. Oh, do you know her? No. In a club, we all fam. No, we not all fam in the club. He wouldn't think we all fam. So I'm just delusional. I am just delusional. But it's okay. Okay, so starting off with that. So yeah, I kind of like had that mindset like going in the summer. I think that mindset of wanting a roster was really the universe kind of just telling me like, girl, you're not at the growth level. Like, you're not at the mental level to know what you want in a long-term partner. Like, you have not written down your list. You have not written down your list yet of non-negotiables and needs and this and that. So I'm gonna make sure you not trying to get into no committed relationships and none of that. But I heard that, and I heard, okay, roster. No. The universe, she was just trying to say, be single, girl. Be single, which I was. She was, be alone. So yeah, the roster situation wasn't really working out, and then I can't even say that I was really this is why, guys, like, my head is just we're just so on tilt. How did I get into this situation? Like, how did I get myself into this situation? But like, I laugh about it now. Am I still laughing? I think I am laughing now. Like, it's kind of silly. It's kind of silly. I would say the situationship that he would never consider a situationship, because I am literally a speck of dust under this man's foot. Not even a full piece of gum. I'm a speck of dust. That's how this man treated me, and that's how this man saw me. But I sat there like the speck of dust, and I cheered. I said, woo! I'm a speck. Like, at least I'm on his shoe. Oh my gosh. Y'all see why I needed to learn the self-worth? Okay, so anyways, I have never been in a situation like that for those whole 3 months. Those whole 3 months were filled with second guessing, confusion, disrespect, but then allowing disrespect, but then smiling through the disrespect, and then just like going about those vibes. You know what I'm saying? And I do have to say, like, I played part, and this is why I feel like it was necessary to mention the part about the universe saying like, girl, it wasn't your time, because I went into this situation that wasn't a situation saying that I wanted something casual. Now that again was because the universe was like, girl, like, I truly think it was because the universe needed me to go through this situation to know exactly what not and what to do. I went into it being like, oh yeah, I'm cool with something casual. This taught me casual actually is not in my vocabulary. I'm never casual. Do you hear this octave of volume that I'm at? That's my regular octave of volume. I'm always screaming. I actually always do the most. I am the most. There is nothing casual about me. I obsess over everything. I'm addicted to things. Well, healthy things. Again, not casual. Like, it's just like nothing that I do in society is casual. I am literally always doing the most. So I don't know why I thought it was a good idea that like I could just be like this casual individual, like I could be a casual girl, because like at the end of the day, I also realized from this that I am a lover girl, and why am I trying to push myself away from that? Like, why am I trying to force myself out of being that? Like, because I enjoy being that. Why am I trying to force myself out of something I enjoy being and something that I like am at my core? I went into this not necessarily wanting labels, so I do have a part to play in that aspect. I have a part to play in the labeling, because I never wanted this situation with this person to go anywhere, because I knew deep in my heart that I deserved much better than this situation. I knew in every second I sat there that I deserved so much better than this situation. But you get caught. You get caught in this like level of infatuation and like the shininess and the newness, and you're like, ooh, 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 like flashy, shiny, like it's like the temporary gratification that you get caught in, like the butterflies or this. But then it's like, girl, it's like those long period of moments where then you're sitting there and you're like, I don't even like, what's going on? What's going on? I probably should have wrote down notes, because I feel like I'm a bit all over the place. Oh, right. I said I wanted something casual, but what I did not come with was disrespect, right? I didn't come with disrespect. I'm very respectful. I also overplayed my role. And that's why I learned that I'm not casual. Because even when I'm saying I want to be something casual, I'm a mother. No drama. I am a mother. I am a nurturer. Like, my greatest goal in life is to be a mother. So I really be mothering these men. And I'm trying to get out of the mother aspect, because I'm not trying to mother anybody. I'm not trying to teach anybody. But it's just like in my nature, like I want to give people that I care about the world. Like that's how I show I care. Like that's literally like it's second nature to me. Like if I care about you, like I want to give you the world. I listen to every syllable that you say, like every syllable that comes out of your mouth, and I'm like, oh, okay. Like I want to know you. I want to know you in the depths of who you are as a human being, so that I can make sure you're the happiest person alive. It's also part of the people pleaser in me, but like it's just like it's all tied. And coming around a little bit to the self-worth, we're really just jumping. This is not going to be linear. We're really just going to jump. I had a realization 3 days ago, really, not anything like long time ago, really recent. I was like, this is who I am. I want to give the people that I love and the people that I care about the world, but I will not give the world to people that will not give the world to me back. Because I always sit there, and I've been in multiple situations, because like I feel like I've never been given the world. I've never had somebody sit down and like love me the way that I love other people. I love so deeply, and I love so intently, and I love so hard. And it's like, that's just like my vibe. And I've never been loved that way in a romantic sense. And I decided, it was like a click, okay? A click ending of 2024, where I was like, that is not a lot to ask for. That's not a lot to ask for, because I'm not an anomaly. I was not made in a lab. I'm not like a superhuman alien. I'm a regular girl. This is just how my brain works. But I feel like I would always give people the benefit of the doubt when they would treat me as less than I'm treating them. And I would be like, oh, it's just because like, you know, like I can't expect people to act the same way that I do. Yes, you can, bitch. What? That's literally what you're supposed to do. You're literally supposed to accept, if you know that you're treating people the best that you can, and you are going above and beyond. That is literally what you're meant to do. You are supposed to expect above and beyond from other people. And if other people are not giving you above and beyond, and you're like, hey, I'm giving you above and beyond. It feels like you're giving me 20%. And they're like, oh, okay. And they only bump it up to 40? No. What? No. But I feel like I I definitely feel like I would settle for that. Like I would settle and I would be like, okay, like, well, it's enough. Like it's enough. Like I know it's not like, I have never been in a situation where I have felt like, damn, I'm burping. I have never been in a situation where I have felt like somebody has fully matched my energy, matched me where I'm at. And I've always been like, okay, well, like, damn, like maybe I'm too much. No, babe, you're not too much. It's just the wrong individuals. It's the wrong individuals. And I really think that's like a good starting point. And again, like this is like romantically, but you could even think about this in friendships too. Like if you're giving a bunch to a friendship and not receiving it back, I really do take everything as a learning lesson. So I feel like I just want to go through all of the learning lessons that I went through this situation. I don't actually feel like I've ever been this disrespected in any type of dealings. I sat there stunned. I sat there stunned. I did not know this level of disrespect was a capability. So, ooh, I should have written down all the things that I learned. I'm just so unorganized. Okay, I told you guys the first thing. The first thing, really big thing, reciprocity. That is my word of 2025, reciprocity. I'm really just not settling for anything other than I give. And this is why I think it was, everything happens for a reason and everything plays out as it's meant to play out. Because did I think a year ago, possibly, like, was I at the place to expect the level that I want to expect from people? Maybe not. I think I still had like an immature mindset. I was still like, you know, kind of petty. Like I would be petty. I wasn't really like expressive with my emotions. And through this situation, I feel like I actually did grow. Like I was actually like, you know, trying to be less petty. I was trying to express how I felt. I was trying to like fix situations. Like I was trying to actually like work on things actively and like be an adult and be a mature adult. Again, I'm a speck of dust, so they didn't care, but at least I was practicing that and I was like seeing how that was working. And like that was like an uncomfortable position. That was an uncomfortable position to like put myself in, because I'm very used to like, if I feel like I'm not like, if I feel a type of way and like if I feel kind of slighted, I can get very petty and I can like, I'll just like go ghost, I'll ignore, I'll just like kind of throw subliminal shots. And I'm like, girl, like you can't expect to get your husband and your husband accepts subliminal shots. My husband will not accept subliminals. No, because I will not accept subliminals from my husband. So that's really like the biggest thing. It's like you have to be what you expect. And I think I am now at a place, and again, we're still growing. We still have more to develop, more to grow, but I think I'm at a better place now where I'm like ready to be mature. I'm ready to like have mature conversations. I'm ready to like face uncomfortable feelings and emotions and like work through them. Where was I going with this one, guys? Like where was this supposed to take me? Reciprocity. I was talking about reciprocity. Ah, yes. So that's why I feel like now I'm really, especially coming out of this situation, I'm at a place where like the things that I'm writing down that like I want, I see them in myself. Like I'm writing down intentionality, thoughtfulness, like respect, good communication, like those things. And I'm like, you cannot write those things down if they are not reflected in the mirror to yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like if they are not, when you're looking at that stuff, if you're not looking right back and it's the same stuff, you need to take the time to do it for yourself before you can even think about writing those stuff down. So I feel like I've like, you know, worked up to like really being self-aware about that stuff. And then I feel like I give that to other people. So I deserve to get that exact same thing back. Nothing less, Pookie. One, let me write this down so I don't forget what I've already said. I would say, okay, let's get into compromising over settling, because I feel like this was like a situation that I was kind of like going back and forth with in my head. Like it's always been like a question for me, because I was seeing this TikTok and this girl was like, I feel like 80% of relationships in the world are settling and not compromising. And I feel like we always hear a lot about people saying like relationships are compromise. Relationships are all about compromise. But I was struggling to see the difference of where compromise and settling comes in. And I feel like I have my own analogy, and then we're gonna ask like Google what the actual definition is. I feel like compromising is like you move a little bit and then the other person moves a little bit, and you're both moving to meet at a place that you both can reach and that you both are still happy with. You know what I'm saying? Like if you don't, are you getting what I'm saying? Like both, like if you're moving a little bit, that other person also has to be moving. It can't just be you're moving to meet them where they're at. No, you both need to move. If only one person is moving, it's not a compromise, in my opinion. Compromise comes with two. One person can't be giving up or getting something, and then the other person is just like staying exactly the same. That's literally, in my opinion, just not how compromise works. So that to me is compromise. Both people, both parties are moving to get closer to each other. Settling is the opposite of that. Settling is one person either dropping or jumping to meet the level of where the other person is at, and the other person is literally not moving an inch. The other person is literally not moving an inch. They haven't moved an inch, but you've just moved a whole 30 miles. That is settling. That is settling. That is settling. Okay, let's act chat.
Hey there, what's up?
What is the difference between settling and compromising in relationships?
Settling often means giving up on important values or desires to stay in a relationship. Compromising involves finding a middle ground where both partners' needs and wants are respected. It's a sign of a healthy relationship where both people work together to make each other happy.
Settling often means giving up on important values or desires to stay in a relationship, which can lead to long-term dissatisfaction. That is also another thing. Because I feel like the levels didn't really describe that, but I do feel like with settling, it's important to note your non-negotiables. And I feel like non-negotiables are so important, and people are not recognizing how important a non-negotiable is, because a non-negotiable is, people don't recognize how hard a non-negotiable can be to stick to. Okay, let's say, I don't know what your guys' type is, but let's say Aaron, Pierre, that's Mufasa. Aaron, Pierre, that's Mufasa. I don't know if that's a little too niche. So if you don't know Aaron, Pierre, let's just say Michael B. Jordan. Okay, let's just say Michael B. Jordan, because that's like that's the run of the mill. I would personally say Drew Starkey, but I don't want to get too niche, so let's say Michael B. Jordan. Let's say he approaches you. Now that is some fine, you know what I'm saying? Like that is a fine man. It is easy to get distracted. It is easy to get distracted by the infatuation. Like let's say like he's a great flirt. He could just really, he's a great wooer. But like one of your non-negotiables maybe is somebody that doesn't judge. Okay, somebody that doesn't judge you for who you are, doesn't like make fun of you, all of that stuff. Let's say Michael B. Jordan got everything. Michael B. Jordan is top tier. Like Michael B. Jordan is like he's him. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like he's getting you flowers. He's doing all these things, but he like throws slight little judgmental jabs. He's like, oh, you're wearing that out? Oh, like you got those nails? Oh, da da da. We think it's so easy when we talk it through. We think it's so easy, but when you're like stuck in the infatuation, it is so tough to see through that and be like, oh, this is on my non-negotiable. I actually, in the long term, will be so dissatisfied staying in this because this is one of my core values that is not going to be met. And that's why I think non-negotiables are so important to like think through, but then also to like write them down and look back on them, because sometimes I think we can forget them. And sometimes I think it's like if we get into a situation, we could try to override them. No, write those hoes down. Those are a tattoo. Well, tattoos you could get replaced. This is something you can't get rid of, okay? This is not something that you could just like snap your fingers and it's gone. No. 2024, I was settling with the company that I keep. Like I'm not even gonna settle with the company that I keep. I'm not even gonna settle with the people that I converse with, like the people that I let into my life, because knowing that my presence is such an honor. And some people could be like, oh, that's so conceited to think, that's so da 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 da. What do you want me to say? My presence is not an honor? Like what? What? Why would you want me to think that? I'm not saying that my presence is better than anybody else's presence. I'm just saying my presence, personally, to me, is an honor. And I would like to be treated as if my presence is an honor. Oh. I also wrote this down. This was a good one. I thought about this in the shower and I was like, write this down. You gotta share this with people. So I feel like I said my biggest fear, but really I feel like this is one of my biggest fears because I'm really afraid of roaches. My biggest fear, actually let me say it no more. My biggest fear is settling for a love that's comfortable but not fulfilling. And I really don't think I would have had that realization if I did not go through this experience, because like I did not know how to put it into words. I feel like a lot of people are so comfortable, like you're comfortable, like you're being treated well, okay, you're not being treated poorly. Some people are being treated poorly, and but they just don't know. Or, you know what I'm saying, like you're fine, you're existing, like it's okay, it's whatever. You're comfortable. But you're not fulfilled. Like there's so many parts of your boxes, there's so many non-negotiables, there's so many of like the core things that you know that you deserve that just aren't being met. But you're too comfortable where you're at to go off and find what you actually deserve. That is one of my biggest fears. One of my biggest fears is that I won't be able to, that I'll find myself in a situation where I'm comfortable and not fulfilled, and that I won't be strong enough to leave that situation. And I feel like that is why it's so important to not even go into situations where you feel like you won't be fulfilled. And obviously, like, things happen down the line, people change down the line, and you grow as people and things change. So it's like you could be fulfilled in the beginning, but then something happens. Like, that is all very true. But I think going into something just seeking comfortability, already you're off to a bad start. And also not vocalizing like that the things that you want to be fulfilled, you're already off to a bad start. So, and like this is something that I want to practice now too. Like I just don't even like, this was another thought that I have. Okay, another good bar. Not spending time on anything that does not replenish my cup. Do not spend time on anything that does not replenish your cup. Don't do it, because you will be in a drought. You will be in the Sahara Desert. Do not spend your time on anything that does not replenish your cup. And replenishing your cup can look different for other people. That goes back to what fulfills you. That goes back to your non-negotiables. So me personally, that means I'm not spending my time on anything that's not reciprocating the same energy. Okay? That's not like fulfilling my needs. Like not spending the time on that. And I feel like that's something like I would really fall into the trap of, is spending my time and giving so much energy, like giving so much of my own water to cups that never want to give any water back. They're stealing your water, drinking it down, gulping it down, and then not even refilling the Brita. Oh my God, they're not even refilling the Brita. You're a Brita. You are a Brita. Oh my God, girl, you're a Brita, okay? And people are just taking. They're taking from the cup. But who is the person at the end of the day to refill that Brita? Is it always you? Is it always you that refills that Brita? If none of those people are volunteering or participating in refilling that Brita, you need to stop giving them access to water. Oh my God! Write that down. Oh my God, I came up with that on the fly. Okay, so that's a great one. Did I write other ones down? Now, the other big thing, knowing your worth, how to know your worth in 2025. I feel like, again, this was another recent thing because I recently realized, like, I think this was like a month ago that I realized this. I realized that I didn't truly have like, and I wasn't practicing self-love. I have self-confidence. Like I have confidence in myself and the way that I carry myself, but I didn't have self-love. And I really do think that self-love is synonymous with self-acceptance and liking yourself. And I think knowing your worth and doing that goes hand in hand, because I don't think if I didn't have that moment where I learned to really like myself, I wouldn't have been able to have this moment of knowing my worth. So for me, loving myself was a tough one and an interesting one, because it's like I normally describe it in connotation of with other people, and like how I would react to other people. So let's say if it was like my looks, right? I feel like I don't have too much like external insecurity in my looks, because my thing is like, oh, if somebody looks at me and then they don't like me for my looks, or it's like if somebody looks at me and they're like, her nose is too big, her lips are too small, or I don't know, her eyebrows are too far apart. If somebody looks at me, says that, I have so much peace in the fact that like I wake up every day, this is how I was born, I can't change this without shelling out hella money on plastic surgery, and even still, like, this is still who I am, like, permanently at my core. I can't change this permanent aspect about myself, so that just means that person wasn't meant to appreciate me. That person wasn't meant to appreciate me, and I don't need to prove that I can be what they want me to be, because you're never gonna be what they want you to be, because they don't want you. They don't want you. They want somebody different, and you're not going to become what they want, because you are who you are. I was so solidified that with looks. I was like, if somebody wants me to change the way I look, change the way I dress, change the way I wear my hair, you could go, brother. You can kick the rocks. You can go. I was confident in that, and I love myself in that aspect. But what I found myself not feeling confident in, feeling insecure about, and being willing to change for other people was my soul and my personality. And I think that that is the most important aspect to have self-confidence and to have self-love in, and I didn't. I think that it comes from a lot of childhood trauma, and I always say that so lightly because I had a great childhood. I'm so grateful for my childhood. Nothing negative happened in my childhood, but it's just like little things add up, and they can kind of make you, they shape us, they shape who we are. And like I said, this is my regular octave of voice, unless I'm tired. I'm not always like this, okay? Like sometimes I am calmer, but like this is when I'm like this is who I feel like I truly am, like at my core. I've always been excitable, I've always been loud, I've always been crazy, insane, doing a handstand at random moments. And like sometimes like you would have like relatives or adults that would be like, quiet down, calm down, stop yelling, stop screaming. And I realized that like I've kind of like taken that through the years, and I felt like I've always had this constant battle of like, I'm too much. I'm too much for people. Like people need me to quiet down. People need me to like dim myself. Like myself is too much. It's annoying. Like I'm annoying people. I need to calm down. I need to be less because I'm the problem. And it was such a different aspect than the looks. Like with the looks thing, I was like, I can't change myself. You're crazy. You want what you want, but I'm not gonna be what you want because I like how I am. Whereas with my soul and my personality, I was like, oh, okay, like you want me to be a little bit more serious, like you want me to be a little bit less loud, like I guess I can change that, like I guess I can. And I realized that I was doing that. Like I realized that I was dimming myself to meet people and to like make other people comfortable, which was not an act of self-love. That was not an act of self-love, because those aspects of myself, my loudness, my unseriousness, my insane spurts of energy and then depletions of energy, that's who I am. Like those are permanent. Those are me. Those are just as permanent as the color of my eyes, the shape of my nose, the color of my skin. Those are just as permanent. And I had to really sit down and realize that I'm not changing any aspect of that for any single person. The same way I'm not gonna go get a nose job for somebody else. No, I'm not changing the octave of my volume. I'm not changing the amount of jokes I make in a day just to suit somebody else's wants. You don't want me because that's who I am. You don't want me then. You don't want me. So I realized that, and then realizing that helps me stop beating myself up, because I think I was beating myself up over, like, you know, some aspects of my personality, like being too unserious, being too loud, da 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 da. And I started to like really take the time to say my affirmations and like myself, enjoy myself, be like, I'm a funny bitch. I'm funny, I'm entertaining, I'm a good time. If somebody is not entertained by me, they just obviously weren't meant to be in my presence. Simple as that. Simple as that. So, with that comes in with how to know your self-worth. Again, I think you need to know yourself, like yourself, and then from that, like, recognize, like, what, like, girl, like, what you got going on? Like, what do you got going on? And I don't think that you can recognize what you got going on until you like yourself, because now I'm like, I make bitches giggle, okay? I make people laugh. I always bring positivity. I always bring joy. I always bring a good time. I'm always there to uplift people's spirits. And I'm caring, I'm giving, I'm nurturing, I'm kind, I'm respectful, I'm open-minded. Like, ooh, just list it off. List it off. That's how you know your self-worth. That's how you know your self-worth. List those things off and know and see that and be like, oh, correct. I'm a catch. I'm a catch. I'm a catch. I'm literally a football. And the thing about football is, there is a reason that a lot of the men on the team are not meant to catch the ball. There is a reason that a lot of men on the team are not the best at catching the ball. Some men are just not meant to catch balls. Some people, okay, let me be a little bit more general. Some people are just really bad at catching balls, okay? They don't know how to catch the football. And especially your football. Let's say your football is going high speed. Your football was just thrown by a top level quarterback. I don't know any. I don't know any of their names. I'm so sorry. Manning, was he a quarterback? I don't know. But your football was just thrown by a top level quarterback, which means that it's moving hot. It's moving fast, and it's moving hot, and it's moving quick. Not anybody can catch that. Okay, yeah. Somebody can catch something like thrown by like a 5-year-old moving slow and got no spiral. Okay, that's a little bit easier to catch. No, you were thrown by what, D1? I don't know, a D1 QB. Patrick Mahomes, is Patrick Mahomes the QB? I know Patrick Mahomes. You were thrown by Patrick Mahomes. Not anybody can catch a throw by Patrick Mahomes. Therefore, know your worth. Know that not everybody is meant to catch you. Not everybody is meant to catch you. Only the people that are at your level to catch can catch you. Okay? Know that. This is my final statement, then I'm gonna let you go because I've been holding you hostage for a little bit. This was such a good chat. We should chat more often. It is so wildly uncomfortable to let go of the things that we are attached to. But if something is not good for you, you need to let it go so that what you deserve can come to you. My friend sent me a quote that was so good. I was like, write that down, like this one is good. It sums it up basically. You can't pick up the gold if your hands are full with silver. Girl, listen to that. You can't pick up the gold if your hands are full of silver. You can't pick up the gold if your hands are full of silver. And that was another realization that I had. The universe is not going to magically gift you your prince if you're still sitting there with the trolls. The universe is like, girl, no, I'm not gonna, you're trying to have play dates with the trolls and you expect me to give you your prince? Your prince does not want to be in this troll place. He does not want to be here. You're not gonna find him here. Okay, he's not gonna come here. I'm not going to send him there to meet you there. So it's either you leave these trolls alone and you start walking through the actual castle, or you stick with the trolls and you never find your prince. And you can't. You can't. The universe is not going to allow that. The universe is not going to allow that to happen. They're not, it's always a saying, you have to close one door to open the next. And I really took this door analogy really serious. Like, think about it. You're in room number 1. Okay, you're in room number 1 right now. Room number 1, it's stinky, it's gross, it's smelly, there's roaches, it's unkempt. There's nothing going on. Like, there's no sunlight. It's a north-facing window. It's scary in there. Very scary in room 1. But, what's the but? Anyways, you're in room 1, okay? Now let's say you got 1 foot out the door, 1 foot still in the door. You're still kind of teeter-tottering. Like, you're going out in the hallway to like breathe in some fresh air, and then you're going back into room 1 because, I don't know, you're addicted to room 1. It's an addicting experience, right? You keep going back and forth, back and forth. Down the hall is door number 2. Down the hall is door number 2. But every time you keep opening door number 1, you're letting in toxic fumes into the hallway. You're letting in a virus, toxic fumes, and a virus. You're not closing that door, and it's literally seeping. It's oozing this sickness, this illness into the hallway. It's oozing it. Door number 2 is gonna stay closed because that is a clean room. That is a biohazard room. Like, you have to be wiped down and sanitized to get into that room. They're never gonna open that room door until door number 1 is closed, the hallway is cleansed, and the viruses are gone. Okay? Behind door number 2 is the prince. Obviously, they gotta keep him healthy. Obviously, he's behind door number 2 with the biofreeze. With the wipe down, with the cleanliness. He's behind door number 2, or she. I'm sorry, this was very heteronormative. I apologize for the heteronormative nature of this video. Please take this and mold it to however you want it to be. I just am hetero. So, I apologize for the heteronormativity. Let's keep going. So, again, door number 1, it's oozing the viruses. You need to close it. You need to close it. You need to close that door. If you don't close that door, door number 2 is literally never going to unlock for you, babes. It's never going to unlock. And you don't necessarily know what's behind door number 2. You don't know how that looks. You don't know how it's going to come to you. You don't know how it's going to unlock for you. You don't know. All you know is that it's good for you. All you know that is that it's better for you. And it's what you deserve. That's all you know about door number 2. Close that door. And you have to sit with that uncomfortability of knowing that you're closing door number 1 without knowing exactly what is behind door number 2 looks like. But you just know door number 2 is what's behind door number 2 is worlds better than what's behind door number 1. And that is a very uncomfortable feeling, like leaving something that you know and that you're comfortable with to jump into the unknown, and to jump into that loneliness, and to jump into no longer having an attachment, to then start all over again. That is a very uncomfortable feeling, and it's scary. But you do not grow, you do not change, you do not get what you want without that little bit of uncomfortability. You do not get it. Just close that door, lock it, lock all the viruses in there, lock it up. Now the hallway's gotta take time to cleanse. This isn't gonna happen right after. You're not gonna just be allowed to unlock door number 2 right after you get into the hallway. The hallway needs a deep cleanse. You need a wipe down. You need a spray down. We need to disinfect your clothes. We need to get you new clothes. We need to make sure that you are at the status that you need to be to enter door number 2. Because again, door number 2 is clean. It's clean in there. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to mess up anything in there. You don't want to get it sick. You know, nothing at all. Now, once you're clean, once the hallway's clean, once we're ready, you can unlock door number 2. But once again, you cannot unlock door number 2 without locking door number 1. And the way that is just such a comforting feeling. It's such a comforting feeling after exiting something that didn't even really exist in the first place. After exiting a situation, knowing that situations end because the better thing for you is out there. And we go through pain, and we go through these situations, we go through this suffering because we are meant to learn and improve and become the better person so that we don't suffer in those aspects. Like, I truly do believe that this was a growth, and this was a moment that I had to go through. And I journaled today, and my journaling was filled with gratitude. Gratitude for this disrespectful ass man. So, like, and I was like, it was just flowing. Like, I wasn't even forcing it, but I was just like, I am so grateful for this situation, because this situation showed me what I will never put myself through again. What I do not deserve in any capacity of the world. It showed me what I do deserve. It showed me what I'm working towards. It showed me what I'm waiting for. Like, it showed me that I need to be patient, because getting that quick turnaround leads to growth. It leads to growth. So I was literally journaling so much gratitude, because I'm like, without this situation, like, maybe, like, I would have walked past door number 2 and not even, not have gone through what I needed to go through to, like, recognize and to, like, mature into the status to enter door number 2. And also, like, not even, like, I wouldn't have even known that I wanted door number 2. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would have still been stuck trying to enter different versions of door number 1, not knowing that I wanted door number 2. Like, I would have still been going after what I know I don't deserve and what won't work. Like, I caught myself trying to do it again. Like, right after, I was like, oh, okay, like, da-da-da-da. Something popped up on the interwebs. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, someone popped up, and then I was like, oh, they don't know you like I, wait. I had that moment, and then I was like, wait, Maya, this looks like you are trying to repeat a pattern. Looks like you are attached to a pattern. You need to take a step back and recognize you keep choosing the same people. You keep choosing door number 1. You need to stop. We need to take a step back, and we need to stop. And I recognize that, and I'm like, wow, that would not have been a realization that I was able to make without going through this experience. So that's really just like another way of saying, like, everything happens for a reason. My camera died, so it's time to wrap this up, because I could just go on and on and on and on. But hopefully I made enough points. My final messaging is when the universe gives us a lesson, and I say universe, whatever, that's just like my thing. That's my vibe. Like, if you're religious and you say God, like, that's your, you know, I hope that you're seeing the comparison here. You know what I'm saying? Like, I hope we're understanding that. When the universe is sending you a message, and when they're giving you a sign, well, not even when they're giving you a sign, because sometimes we can be confused by the signs. Like, sometimes the signs are a little bit confusing, but when they give you a lesson, it's important to learn the lesson. Sometimes we're given lessons and we don't learn from them, and we don't change how we go about life from them. Like, I could have gone through this situation and then been like, okay, let me go pick somebody exactly like this again. Well, see, then, babe, we didn't learn. We didn't learn. Like, it then falls upon you to learn from the situation. Same way, you can't go sit in a college lecture and just sit there and listen to the lecture, never take a singular note, never do any active recall, never do any homework, and expect to actually understand the information. To expect to, like, get a good grade. No. To expect to pass the test. No. And that's why, like, I am always, like, I am grateful for every situation that happens to me, because I do think, like, you can truly just you can learn from every situation to the point where eventually we will be learning, like eventually, if we're learning and we're taking that in and we're growing as people, then eventually, like, the lessons won't be, like, as hard. You know what I'm saying? Like, the lessons, at least in this aspect, like, won't be painful. Like, I feel like there will come a time where it's like you've mastered this subject. You know what I'm saying? Like, where you've mastered the subject and there's no longer painful lessons that come from it. Like, and I'm not saying it's gonna be easy. Like, I already am like I don't know, that's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough. But I need to remember this feeling. I need to remember the uncomfortable feeling that I had to sit in. And I need to remember, like, I feel like it's really corny to say prince. I don't want to say prince, but it's like, my husband would not. Sorry. Like, sorry, guys. Like, he actually wouldn't. He would never. He would never. And he's sitting there. He's sitting wherever he is in the world. Out there. He's sitting there and he's like, yeah. I would not. No. No. I don't know why she's doing that right now. Like, I don't know what's going on with her. But she needs to tighten up. She needs to figure her shit out. Because I'm sitting right here. And I'm like, correct. Correct. So I just need to keep remembering that. We all need to keep remembering that. And remembering the football analogy, okay? Remembering that. Not everybody can catch a quarterback's throw. Right? Anyways, guys. I don't really want to go. Like, I don't really want to go. Like, what am I going to go do? I could read. Oh, okay, that's my final thought. Guys, if you don't like romance books, okay. But one thing that always helps, whenever I go through a situation with a man, remember the male species, I read a romance book. And it tightens me up so quick. Reading about men written by women, you're just like, oh, I'm not crazy. I know exactly what I want. It's this. I'm not insane. I'm not insane. And anybody that tries to lead you to believe that, like, the men in the romance novels, like, that doesn't exist, aren't they the Debbie Downer? They're also just, like, false. They're also just, like, false. Oh, that was the last. See, I should have wrote stuff down. Okay, last statement. I was literally gonna say, like, I don't settle for anything else in my life. I don't settle for anything else in life. Like, my dream house, I don't plan on settling for an apartment. I don't feel like settling for, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, everything else, I don't feel like settling for. Why is this one aspect of our life that we feel so easy to settle for? You know? You know? And I think that's why. I think people go in with that mentality. I feel like people have too much of a mentality of already being ready to settle. And then those are the same people that are like, those men in your romance books, they're not real. The women that wrote these have husbands. Well, not all of them, but like a lot of them have husbands. Do you think, and hey, like, I don't know, but do you think they would be writing about these men that are literally like, you know what I'm saying, these men, and then be looking at their husband and like their husband is just like not doing that, like, or like not anything like that? You get what I'm saying? Like, it's not, I don't believe that there's a reality where there's not men that exist in the real world that are written by women. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. So that was my last statement. I'll see you in the next one. Comment down below what you would, if you would want me to talk about anything else next. Any other things, because like I said, I like to yap. And I just realized I have a lot of thoughts in my dome. So if you want to hear something, let me know. Maybe an advice session. Ooh, if you want to do if you want an advice session, let me know. Comment that down below.